Alright, I think it's time to start. So for anybody who's already here, thank you for joining. We are going to be watching all the replays that were submitted to this Shoot the Spoiler. And it's going to be 10 categories, 10 of Shoot the Bullet, or 5 of Shoot the Bullet, 5 of Double Spoiler. I'm going to be showing every replay twice, because the replays are pretty short. And I'm going to be playing them back in order from lowest to highest score per category. So this should be showing now. Yes, I think it does. So for Shoot the Bullet, we have 1, 6, 3, 3, 7, 1, 7, 6, and 7, 8. We have a lot of level 7 scenes. That would be this one. This one. And then of level 7 we have 7, 1 here. 7, 6. And 7, 8. So the results of this scene will be shown right now. We're gonna have 9 submissions, and I think this is also every single player who has participated. I think everybody has played 1/6 for Shoot the Bullet, so that's pretty cool. And we're gonna be starting with Caballo's run of 85k. So this entire pattern is aimed at you the entire time. And what you kind of want to do is try to stay close to her and, you know, try to get the nice shot. It always shows up at the same time during the pattern, so you can kind of memorize a way to, you know, get the timing. But during the last 2 photos, Rumia adds a lot of bullets, and her nice shot appeared right after the scene was cleared. That actually means that that timing was like 1 frame too early. So that would have been like 35k that photo, and I think it didn't lose the 2 shot. It looks like whenever you take a 2 shot from below, Aya's feet are allowed to be excluded, but when you take the photo from the side, it's actually a lot less lenient. But that is kind of generally what you want to do in Shoot the Bullet. You don't generally take photos from below unless you can get close enough, but in this scene, that is a bit difficult. There is a technique you can use to make it a bit easier, but it is a little bit advanced. I mean, it's not like super difficult, but it's not really intuitive. You see, like, that one did lose the 2 shot right there. You're seeing right here that there's a self shot and a 2 shot. Well, the self shot is basically if you got yourself in the photo, and then a 2 shot is the bonus you get if you get both Aya and the boss in the photo. So you have both a 1.2 and a 1.5 multiplier, which makes it effectively a 1.8, because you can't have both, or you can't have one or the other. You either have both or you have neither of them. So if you lose the 2 shot, you're losing 1.8 times your score, which is a pretty severe punishment for this game. In a double spoiler, you don't have the self shot, at least not when you're actually taking a photo of the boss. So then there's no redundancy there. Alright, now we have Lofi. Okay, I don't know if that was supposed to be a photo of the boss. Maybe not. Yeah, that was a little bit early, but it was safe. Like, you're better off losing the nice shot than losing the 2 shot. If you lose the 2 shot, that is a bigger loss. Alright. Yeah, so this score basically got all of the 2 shots. So that's 1.8 times boost. Yeah, that defensive might just be for consistency reasons, maybe. Anyway, you can actually stream this using charge speed. When you're using charge speed, you're actually moving even slower than in focus speed, and that can be used to more precisely stream through these bullets. It's actually, you can actually get pretty close. Of course, you need to kind of know that and, you know, be willing to take that risk. But these ones probably won't go that far. Alright, then we have Amlux with 98k. Oh geez, what is this? This is interesting. I mean, this is actually kind of what you want to do, though. Like, take side shots. That is pretty effective to not lose a 2-shot. Like, it doesn't matter that you're doing it from this side in terms of dodging. You know, you're still just streaming. And he's also using charge speed to dodge it. Now, during the second phase, you actually have to stream past 2 lanes instead of 1. Because the bubbles are in the way, so you can't just, you know, go to the side for the middle bullets that go after you, because then the bubble will get you. Alright, very nice. That looks pretty dangerous, by the way, if you're looking at what that photo looks like. That's pretty cool. Also, I like that up movement and then straight towards the left. I mean, it works, so, you know, it's not like he's being unnecessarily risky or anything. Yeah, he's probably just sticking to the side and just waiting for Rumia to get close. But, I mean, technically, he could just stick closer to the middle of the screen, like a little bit away from the side, because then you're not cutting off the photo. Because that's basically what he's doing right here. You can see on the first photo how the photo is all nice and wide, but then the other photos are a lot less wide. Well, that's because the side of the screen cut them off. Okay, then we have F-Rame 255. Also, I forgot to do a little thing here. Whenever people submitted, they did have a chance to add comments. And Caballo's comment is, took me a bit to beat my previous PB, so happy STS is back. And Lofi's comment was... Oh, okay, this is... I really hope I'm doing this right. I think just because of the submission. I think that was the same comment for all of them. And Amlix had no comment. Anyway, now we're going up to the 100s. F-Rame, I believe, is the only person who isn't in the SDS server, but, you know, he still participated. You know, that was kind of the point, to also get people to join who didn't necessarily want to be in the server, but, you know, would still be able to participate. And obviously, there's no obligation to play all of them. You know, if you play just one, that really doesn't matter. You know, it's just... Even if you did just one, you're still participating. Alright, looks like it took a save on that last one. But the first one is actually very good. As you can see, he is taking it. He's playing a bit riskier. But the best way you would take these photos is basically, yeah, you would have to get closer to Rumia, and then you basically stream the first middle bullet that comes after you, like that is aimed directly at you. Then you tap towards the left or right, and then take the photo immediately. Because the middle lane arrives at you first, at your area first, but if you go to the side, the next lane that is to the left or right of you, that one arrives later, and it's just enough time for you to take the photo before it reaches you. And in this game, like, you might think, well, like, yeah, that might work because it gives you more risk bonus, but risk bonus is actually bugged in this game. Risk bonus does not do anything at all in this game, and it's definitely unintentional. Like, the bonus is there, but it just has no influence to your score. It's just one of those weird things. And also, like, the color-related bonuses, they show, like, a base value boost. A lot of those values are also just straight up wrong. Like, when you're doing the calculations, taking into account the multipliers, the values are always higher. So, I don't know, Zoom was just, you know, being drunk as usual. Alright, now we are gonna get a huge score boost here. 125k by Cola ZH. I probably butchered that name, but well, so be it. So here we go. This run also had no comments. I think when we're getting to first place, you'll see how you would dodge it. Like, it's definitely not as hard as it looks. At least not on the first phase. Like, the second phase, I think, is a lot harder to do it. I actually ended up doing a different strat myself when I was playing around with the scene. Anyway, it looks like all of these got the nice shot and the 2-shot, so as you can see, that makes a big difference in the score. They also get good timing. You actually want to aim the nice shot as early as possible. That gives you the most score, and I think that's just because of the bullet clouds. There's more bullet clouds if you do that. And bullet clouds in this game actually give a huge amount of base value compared to a fully formed bullet. The mechanics of this are different in Double Spoiler. In Double Spoiler, depending on the timing, the base value is about like 60 to 80% of the base value of a fully formed bullet. But here it's more like 300% or something. I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but it's a huge amount. So like whenever you have patterns where bullet clouds appear at slow intervals, then you really have to make sure that you're timing your photos correctly. You'll see that when we get to 7-1. It's really important there. Alright, next up we have Moo. 134k. Yeah, so you're kind of like moving backwards with the pattern, trying to, you know, kind of play it safe, and you are actually kind of unintentionally doing a advanced technique, which is if you move backwards, the frame will actually move closer to the boss. Of course, if you're really far away, then it won't be on top of the boss anymore, but that actually did help you to get a higher boss shot multiplier, so that is actually a pretty big score jump again. Also, as for this streaming that you're doing, you can just dodge one lane. You don't have to dodge two. Plus, since you're already moving sideways while the pattern is still firing, the pattern is no longer going to be fired in a straight line. You can see it's all curved now. Yeah, like normally when you do this backwards moving technique to get the frame closer to the boss, you just do it once, and then usually just stand still and time your photo. I would say that's typically how you do it. Anyway, the comment for this one is, this scene is pretty fun, but the shot timing is difficult. Yeah. Yeah, like if you wanna, you know, if you play it safe, then you're probably not gonna get the nice shots because they arrive too late. That's what we saw in some of the lower place replays. Alright, next up is Pigeon. 145. Okay, yeah, so he is aiming the photo. And the reason he's able to aim is because he's doing it from an angle. He's doing it from a 45-degree angle, so you can actually aim for a pretty... You can actually aim for a pretty long time. See, like, that was a 2.0 even. And he was nowhere near about to lose a two-shot either. He had a lot of leeway, so he really made sure... He made sure to capitalize on the fact that you can aim for a long time if you aim diagonally towards the boss. Like I said before, if Aya's feet and legs are cut off, as it would, like, imagine if they were like that in this photo, then you would still get the two-shot. So he had a lot of leniency. He could have been standing further away from the boss and still be fine. And still center the shot. You know, he would have needed to aim a little bit more, but he would still be able to, you know, execute the photo perfectly with this method. And he's also doing it in a way so that even the middle bullets that arrive at you first, they don't even get a chance to reach him. So this is, like, really safe. Of course, the only challenge is that you need to know how to aim your photo. You need to be in focus speed, because being in focus speed brings the frame closer to the boss. And then you need to let go of shift, hold Z to start aiming diagonally, and then let go at the right timing. And that can definitely be something that new players have to get used to. It's not like... It's not very intuitive how you would do it. You know, this is still a photo game and not like, you know, EOSD or something. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Alright, then we have... oh yeah, Pigeon's comments was 2 ways. I don't know what he meant by that. 2 way. I guess he missed... I guess there were 2 ways that were mistakes. I guess that's what he meant. Then we have Acaride. He's got a 149k at 2nd place. Yeah, so he is streaming 1 lane, as you can see. And he's using charge speed to make this a lot safer. Yeah, and see, now he is moving to the left, right before the middle lane is about to hit him, and then immediately take the photo. And that is consistent, like, this works. Alright, he also got a very good 4th photo there, 40k is good. I think something is gonna go wrong in this last photo. Yeah, okay, this was a lower boss shot. I think he didn't move backwards, I think. But otherwise, he got all of the timings. Most of the photos were centered. I think it's okay if the boss shot is 1.9, like, it is still centered enough. Like, when it comes to the calculation of the score, there's actually 2 decimals that the game takes into consideration when you look at these multipliers. So, the boss shot could also be something like 1.98 multiplier. So, you're actually losing quite a bit less score than you think. Like, it says 1.9, but it could be 1.9x, you know? It doesn't have to be 1.90. And well, DS calculates the score the same way, except they show the 2 decimals. Yeah, he moved to the left there, but I don't think that made the frame go closer. But he was probably also just trying to take it safe, because he did get a very good 4 photo there. There's still one more strategy that you can do here to actually score higher, and we're gonna see that on the first place replay, I think. Anyway, the comment on this one is, glad I didn't die after the new best shot. Okay, yeah, that does explain it. The 40k was definitely a best for Acaride. So that does explain the 5th photo. He was trying to play it safe. And now this one is Fallen Wisp. He got 1st place here, and this is also his only submission. He really focused on 1-6, and he plays a lot of the level 1 scenes in Shoot the Bullet. Like, I know he at least played 101 as well. I forget what else. But yeah, that is about 5k higher. Now, he is actually dodging on in focus speed, which I wouldn't do, but I mean, if it works for him, great. So what he is actually doing is he's actually misdirecting the pattern a certain way, so that he maximizes the amount of bullets in the photo. You can kind of see that the outside curve of the bullets is going towards the corners. That is more or less what you want to do, I think. So. And there's also one more thing that you have to take into account here, which I think he does. Like, he waits quite a bit here. And that is because I think Chump can correct me on this, but you need to get Rumia to move in a certain pattern so that the slowest bullets that are going upwards, that you get as many of them in your photo as you can. Like, I think the way how I did it is I made Rumia move as much vertically as possible before I tried to take the photo. Of course, you can't really wait for that forever because there's not much time. Anyway, this is really unfortunate because his 4th photo messed up. Otherwise, he would have had a really good run there. Like, he would have actually scored about as high as my run did. That I have. But yeah, like in this scene, if you want to go at least for, you know, good photos on the initial or the current wave, you do want to aim it in a certain way. It's like, I don't know, like if we assume straight down to 0 degrees, then it's something like 20 to 30 degrees, I think. Something like that. Like, I don't quite remember because it's been almost a month since I played this, so I'm kind of trying to remember how I did this myself. Of course, I also played 9 other scenes, so there's that. But yeah, you see that he is moving unfocused towards the right, and the lane right to the right of him doesn't get to reach him, so. The way I streamed this phase right before taking the photo is actually a bit different from how you're supposed to do it. I actually streamed diagonally, and then I tried to squeeze in between the lanes because that actually helped me to time the photo better without dying, which, I mean, it's still kind of risky, but that's just how I did it. But yeah, very good final photo there. That is definitely not easy to do. I also think that he was in between two lanes there, so he's kind of like doing my style of the photo. Slightly left of room, yes. Like it's not centered, you mean? I mean, yeah, it looks like it's not quite centered. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, anyway, I already showed this twice, so we're just gonna move on. Yeah, I can always just check it out later to see what happened. Alright, next up we have Free. That was the Allen scene. Also, Wisp's run had no comment, so yeah. So first up we have Caballo again. 93k. Which I imagine is not going to have nice shots, if I had to guess. Okay, this one didn't have a 2-shot, I guess. I found this to be actually a very, very difficult scene. Like, I can understand that people weren't really, you know, trying to be risky on this one. And I mean, the last place clears are mostly, you know, casually cleared runs. So yeah, just the first one got the nice shot. But the first one is also not as consequential as the other ones. Like, I found photo 4 and 5 to be really hard. There's a lot of movement RNG you have to worry about here. I know if you're doing this at a top level. Also, the RNG of the bullets plays a big role, because the pattern can just give you walls and not let you do anything, and then you have to like abandon the photo or just take a worse photo. And this is also, again, one of those scenes where the time is limited, so you can't really skip photos the whole time. Alright, so Caballo's comment here was tackling me one by one. Hopefully I can come back to this. So, I guess he might be revisiting this later. That would certainly be nice. I think most people did try these scenes without like looking at strategies. Alright, so now we have F-Frame with 130. Yeah, you have to skip most of them. Like, I did see, like, I don't quite remember. Did you have to, like... You have to get Alice really close to the side, which is, you know, dependent on movement RNG. And then you need Alice to move, like, as little horizontally as possible so that she doesn't corner you. I think it was something like that. I know when I was playing the scene, I was doing a different strategy. I was playing the Saber. I did something different from the world record strategy. Also, you can see that he was trying to go to the side. He's trying to take these photos from the side, which is definitely better. It allows you to aim for longer, since there's more room on the sides of the photo for you to not lose the 2-shot. Also, I think technically if you time these photos early, like before the nice shot even arrives, you actually get a higher base shot, base value, I think. I think whenever I was playing this scene and I timed my photo too early, my scores were higher than if I had timed them, you know, the good way. I think that was the case with 1-6 as well, but I mean, yeah, obviously, if you don't get the nice shot, you still score less, so you still don't want to do that if you can help it. It's just one of those interesting little things where the game basically punishes you a little bit less by timing too early. Okay, let's see. This one had no comments, I think. No. And well, as for Lofi's comments, they are all the same, so I don't need to repeat it. Yeah, now is Lofi's run of 136. This will probably be similar to the other two. Okay, yeah, so Lofi does aim a little bit here, so there's a bit more boss shot here. Except that one was too much, so that lost the 2-shot. Because it was aimed from directly below. Okay, that one was aimed diagonally though, that was better. You can see it in the score, it is definitely reflected in the score a little bit. Yeah, still mostly safe. I think Lofi's submissions were all made on the same day, so makes sense. That best photo is nice and risky though. Those bullets get really close to killing Aya. So now we have a big score jump from the 100s to the 200s basically. That's gonna be all of these. So next up we have Moo. I do think these are going to be getting more nice shots. Okay, that one was timed a little bit early. I think this was also one of your earlier submissions, if I'm not mistaken. So you might have still been getting used to the controls. Alright, there is also a nice shot. That is pretty nice RNG though. Like, the bottom right area there was just all empty. And yeah, he just took a save there. It gets kind of stupid, honestly, on the last two photos. It's like you can wait a really long time to get RNG that's actually easy. It seems to almost never happen, honestly. And in my own PB, my final photo actually scores worse than my fourth. It actually scores less. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you can see how the side of the screen here is relatively empty. And meanwhile, Alice is actually getting closer to you, so, you know, you're kind of getting that Doppler effect that you're able to take advantage of. Alright, next up is Amlux, who I see just joined. Yeah, you did 3-3, and I think it was 1-6, or 11-6, I mean, for double spoiler. Yeah, we got 214k. Oh, okay, yeah, that was definitely supposed to be a defensive. Because Amlux was aiming that to the side, which would not have made sense if, you know, given the position he was in. See, he aimed that one diagonally, so that was definitely an accidental defensive. But the last That last photo was very good though. You got pretty good RNG there. Okay, that one didn't miss the 2-shot, but I was really close to missing it. Yeah, that... He just barely got the boss in the photo, so you get a 1.2 boss shot multiplier, which is the lowest possible boss shot you can get. That was unfortunate. But yeah, as you can see, he's also immediately moving to the side. And yeah, this RNG is pretty easy. My PB did not get that lucky on the last. Let's see, was there any comment on this? Doesn't look like it. Okay, now we have Cola SCH again. With a roughly 9k improvement. So yeah, he is aiming diagonally. He did move a bit before the photo, which ideally you don't do, but like when I started photo games, I made the same mistake where I would move before aiming. Like there's a certain timing you need to get down, so I mean this is a pretty typical mistake to make, so it's not like it's not unusual at all. Unfortunately, when you're playing double spoiler, the game is going to punish you a lot harder for that, because then you're gonna have to deal with angle bonuses. Anyway, these got all the nice shots, and, well, this one scored higher, basically because there was no accidental defensive. Also, yeah, if you're in charge speed right before you take the photo, your frame is actually as close to Aya as it can possibly be. So if you're in charge speed and then immediately try to take a photo straight after, you will be missing the most boss shot, so that is something you don't want to do. But there are some scenes where that can kind of happen a lot. Like, I think it even happened to me a little bit on this scene. I'm trying to think which scene it was. Oh yeah, it was 8-2. I think it was 8-2, but it was actually for different reasons. Like, I don't actually know why, but I mean, we'll get to that. Like, there was just some weird mistakes I was making. Okay, so now we have two scores that are really close to each other. First up, we have Pigeon. So he's gonna be going to the side and waiting a bit. And then he's taking the photo from the side, aiming sideways. Okay, I couldn't really get close there, so he had to sacrifice some boss shot there if he wanted to take it. Yeah. I mean, it was still good timing, so, you know, at least... I think that is more or less a good timing, what you want to have. Like, there are some zoom frames, I think, where you score more because the dolls are firing bullets. Like, you want to see as many of these glows in the photo as possible. If you see these glow bullets, or these glowing bullet clouds, that gives you more score. That's what you want to see. Okay, that one didn't get the nice shot, but it actually still scored pretty decent. That's why I said, like, I think this scene actually gives you more base value if you time it too early. So it doesn't punish him quite as much. Also, regarding A2, my problem is that I was somehow activating the frame one frame before I was holding shift. Or no. Like, I'm trying to think what happened. No, I think it was like I was holding shift, but then I was holding Z, and when the frame activated, it jerked the frame backwards before I started aiming, and so I would lose a lot of boss shot that way. I don't know why it was happening on that scene specifically. I don't really know why. I don't know if I was somehow just getting into the habit of bad muscle memory. Yeah, I don't know. I have really no idea why that happens. Like, I thought I was just being dumb or something. I was doing something wrong. Something that I would normally never do wrong. It's like I had to deliberately let go of shift before, aiming the photo. But like, it went wrong so many times, especially on photo 1 and 2. On the later photos, it didn't really happen, but yeah, it's really weird. Alright, so anyway, the winner of this one is Acaride, and he is actually the winner of every single scene going forward. But Pigeon is almost always a close second, so we'll see what the 1k improvement for him looks like. Alright, so he's misdirecting Alice to the right to then go to the other side. I think that's also what you're supposed to do. And then he aims the photo. He could have aimed it a little bit more. But he might not be used to the aiming. Or, maybe he was just trying to play it safe. Is this gonna be a defensive? Yeah, okay, now he's gonna go to the other side. I think he could get around to that mass of bullets, but he probably didn't want to risk it. Okay, now he's gonna go all the way around, and now he's gonna take the photo, probably. Yeah. It was a bit late, but it did ensure him to get a more centered shot, so... It does work, it does help a little bit, but yeah, that last photo got 67k, so that's higher than we've seen so far, I think. These are good timings, though. Like, that 55k seems to have gotten quite a bit of the glowy bullet clouds. So that gives him some extra score. Like, even if you lose boss shot or a nice shot multiplier from that, it is worth it to get those extra clouds in the photo. But it's like, I think it's a pretty particular timing. Like, I don't remember what kind of timing you had once. Exactly. I just don't think it was like I think you don't want an early nice shot. I don't think you want like an early 1.5. I think it's like a late 1.5 or 1.4-ish. So yeah, this score barely beat the Pigeon's score. So congrats to him. Now we're gonna go to 7-1. That is the scene with the multiple phases. This one gets pretty hard on the second phase. Yeah, that makes sense. It's different timing. It's probably not the kind of timing that you can get super consistent, probably, but... I mean, it's a different timing for all of them. Oh, wait. That run died. Oops. You know what? That does explain the score. But hey, I did say that you were allowed to post game overs, so... I mean, yeah, like I said, that does explain why that score was so different from the rest of them. This could very well be the only submission that didn't clear. That's unfortunate. I mean, Lofi might have just not had enough time to play, maybe. I'm gonna assume that the rest of them do clear. Next up we have F-Frame with 542. So yeah, that is a strategy you can do on the first photo. I couldn't really make it work, so I didn't do that. I found it to be too risky. Also, that was an early nice shot timing on the 70-70K. So if he timed that one a bit later, it would have actually given a lot more score. But yeah, this second phase is really hard to play well in, especially if you don't know what the strategy exactly is. And then this phase is a lot simpler, but most people, I imagine most people don't realize that you can just sit at a 45-degree angle from Sakia. As you can see, there's a lot more space to the left and right of the safe spot. Also, why is Aya's thing aiming towards the right? That was weird. I didn't quite see what happened there. But yeah, those last photos were taken real fast. I mean, if you're going to take the photo from the middle lane, you kind of have to go really fast, but it's also a lot harder if you do it that way. It actually it is ironically, if you want to score well on the last phase, you actually do it in a way that is actually easier, survival-wise. It actually makes the scene easier, because you're not like dashing towards the middle and then almost dying. Because you have to like get pretty much as close as possible without dying. So like right there, he could have gone for the right lane. Yeah, why is Aya's sprite looking like it's aiming towards the right? That's weird. Unless he like aimed a little bit to the right by accident and I didn't even notice. That's probably what happened. Alright, now we have Cola ZH. 621k. Okay, yeah, so he's just taking the photo without worrying about the pattern even getting to him. He's just taking it before it can even reach him. Okay, he's taking the photos from the side here, it looks like. Or at least he's misdirecting it from towards the side. That's what you want to do. And it also allows Sakia to move closer to you, so that means you can actually get a higher boss shot multiplier. He didn't right there, like Sakia actually moved away from him vertically, so that didn't really help. I'm not sure if any of these scores will actually do the phase 3, if they will take the phase 3 photos from a diagonal angle, but if not, I will be submitting my own replays to both Yumiya's and Yumiya's stream and replay showcase. But for the latter, those replays will be outside of the SDS block because I want them to be separate from that. Also, I might be able to possibly commentate when everybody has submitted their replays, or anyone who wants to. But yeah, the second phase is definitely more towards the direction of getting high scores. It does depend a little bit on movement RNG, because like right there, Sakia moved up, so he couldn't really get close. Or, you know, at least not confidently so. And yeah, he's just playing that safe. He's not even, like, trying to ram the knives there. He's just, you know, keeping his distance. And yeah, his highest is 105. That would not be possible probably if you try to aim towards if you aim the pattern down from below. Okay, so this is a score jump, I think. Yeah, from 600 to 700. 776. That, by the way, is a pretty interesting way of approaching that first photo, right? It definitely does work. Unfortunately, this is late timing, so you're actually losing 30k on these photos, which is pretty ridiculous. That you would lose so much score from not getting the next bullet cloud in the photo. And it's just playing safe that phase because you see, like that is how you're supposed to do it. Just with, you know, also with the timing. You see, that one is a lot better. I like, by the way, how that was 2000 risk bonus. Not that it matters. But yeah, see, that is already a lot better. Because it allows you to get much closer. And you don't even have to aim the photo if you do it correctly. When I was grinding this, I did aim the photo a little bit. Because I found, like, not aiming at all to not really work out for me that well. Anyway, the comment on this one is, took forever to get. Because yeah, the second phase probably gave you a lot of trouble. Yeah, you see like how that third photo scored a lot higher, even though it had a worse knife shot timing and boss shot multipliers. That's just how much the later timing matters. Like, even though it was mistimed and low boss shot, it still scored 24k higher. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, those last phase photos were good. Aside from, you know, the first one. The first one was, you know, that one messed up a little bit. Next up, we have 800k from Pigeon. Yeah, so he is misdirecting this from a diagonal angle. And then, which is also what you want to do. Because this allows you to aim with more leniency. Like, he's basically just streaming towards the side and then diagonally taking the photo. And yeah, now he's misdirecting towards the side. And yeah, he's playing it safe, not letting any extra waves appear. And yeah, he's also taking a diagonal angle here. Okay, that one was low boss shot because he was still in charge speed right before it. See, that one was better. And I imagine this next one will be too. Okay, he's just waiting to get into a good position. And there you go. Unfortunately, I can't like scroll through these photos, so I can't really show what the other photos look like. Otherwise, I would have done that. But this game doesn't let you do that. Also, the comment on this one is, I can't part 2. In other words, he had a lot of trouble with phase 2, like most people did. Or probably everybody. The way how I did this scene, the second phase becomes pretty luck-based. And I wasn't even doing it the optimal way. You can make it a lot worse from what I heard. So, you know, that is reassuring. You know, you could make it a lot more... It could be a lot more terrifying. Yeah, anyway, on these he could have gotten closer, but, you know, he played it safe. And he also could have technically, you know, aimed the photo for longer. So yeah, the second last was a well executed one. The other two not so much. And then obviously the second phase he played very safe because he clearly had a lot of trouble with it. And then last up we have Acaride with first place. So yeah, he is misdirecting this from the side and then taking the photo from the side as well. And that does work. It does actually make getting good execution on the photo a little bit harder, I think, but there are some moments when you have to do it if you take a diagonal. If you normally take a diagonal, that at least was the experience for me. And then yeah, he got higher photos on these second phase photos. And you see, he got really close there, so he was able to just take the photo without aiming at all, and he got 1.9 boss shot with that. I think the only reason the boss shot was 1.9 is because it was timed late, because if you allow, you're basically allowing Sakuya to move for longer. Okay, he's just waiting to get into good position. I mean, you have enough time at this point. Like, you have a minute to take the photo. Like, I think the easiest thing to do is to wait for her to move towards you. Look, right here. See, like, that was perfect. She moved down left, which is also where Aya was, so he had to do, like, very little dodging and just, you know, he was basically already in position. That's how you want to take the last phase photos. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so he actually unfocused there, by the way, which is not what you want to do, because that actually brings the frame closer to Aya. So you're actually losing boss shot multiplier by doing that. But he might have done that just to make sure that he wouldn't, like, press Z while in focus speed. But, you know, if you want to get good centered shots, you don't want to do that. See, that was a good timing. And now he's just going to wait for a good opportunity to get Sakuya to move closer while also moving diagonally, because, you know, that minimizes the amount of movement you have to do. Because I think this pattern is just static, so you basically already know where stuff is gonna move. Yeah, and he kind of mistimed that one. Probably got a bit nervous at the end. Anyway, that's 7-1. Next up, we have 7-8. We will get back to 7-6, which is actually category 10, because category 10 was basically a category where you got to vote between all of the scenes from the previous Shoot the Spoilers. So STB just ended up being, you know, category 10 instead of something from Double Spoiler, as it has been for the past two Shoot the Spoilers. So we're gonna come back to this later. So for category 3, these are the results. I think that is correct. Wait, no, I don't think that's right. Oh, I think I actually, I was supposed to show this earlier, but I didn't. Oops. Well, anyway, these are the scores from 7-1. Yeah, I forgot to switch. Might be... Yeah, these are the 7-8 scores. So yeah, first up we have Caballo. This is a pretty fun scene, but it's also pretty scary, so this is probably gonna be a 1cc run. The nice shot timing on this scene appears as soon as Remilius starts to fire the super thick laser bullets. I mean, they're basically stretched bullets, but they kind of act like lasers. And if you want to take a good knife shot timing on this, it's actually really dangerous because these laser bullets go super fast, and if you time too late, you're basically dead. You know, if you're going for the knife shot timing, that is. And as you can see, it gets super dense at the end. Like, if you want to get good scores on this, you really need the RNG to cooperate on this one. Also, the bulk of the score comes from these thick lasers, I believe. But it becomes less and less significant the later on, the later the photos are. Basically, the first 2 photos are one phase. Then 3 and 4 are one phase. Then 5 or 6 are their own phase, and then photo 7 is where things get at their densest. Oh yeah, by the way, as for the replays that I submitted, I'm going to submit to Yumiya and TRS. The ones that are submitted to Yumiya, those will be shown tomorrow. Probably, I think Moo would be interested in that, and perhaps anybody else. But yeah, those are outside the SDS. I just simply played along with those. And I think during SDS Vision had submitted some replays to his stream as well. Anyway, the comment here is played super safe, but it was another new spell for me. I really liked it. Next up we have Piccola CH with 401. Okay, yeah, that one missed the 2 shots, so he's probably just gonna play this the intuitive way, no diagonally aimed shots. Yeah, he's also playing it safe. He is the only thing is that he's trying to get the nice shot timings. He could have probably taken defensives here though, like when the well, I guess he died too. I guess that is game over number 2. Oh no. It gets really scary at the last photo, so yeah. Honestly, all of the Remilius scenes are pretty cool. They are all also. I think all of them except for maybe the one where you get a bullet cap. Which one was that? Like 7-4? I forget which one it was. That one does look easier, but like you have this spell, you have the bat scene, and then you have Scarlet and Zokyo. Those all seem really difficult, really bullshit. And I mean, to me, like 7-6 is just the hardest thing. Alright, next up we have Pigeon with 604. Let's see if he's going to do diagonals here. Not really. Oh yeah, he was actually like speedrunning this, I think. He's trying to take the photos as soon as possible and not even getting the laser sword bullets to do anything. And I mean, it is working for him, but I do know that if you're trying to do that on the earlier photos, it actually makes timing the photos a lot more difficult. He also almost died there. That was really close. That was really scary. That didn't really help him in that case, since it wasn't a nice shot. He was better off waiting. But yeah, like you see how close he got to 100%, and the bullets actually firing those lasers. And that's mostly just because if you take the photo on these earlier photos, you get less chargeback. There's less bullets that get cancelled. So like on these later photos, he gets his charge back a lot faster. Like right there, he was able to take the photo well before the laser started to fire. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out for him here, since it didn't allow him to get the nice shot. He might have also panicked a bit. And now with Acaride, with a huge score jump. 924, so we will see something very different here, I imagine. Yeah, see, he's taking it from the side, or diagonally-ish. He's not taking defensives here, he's just letting the bullets fire. Also, I think Remilia got stuck there. Yeah, she's stuck. Nice. Okay, now she's moving backwards. So yeah, that is actually a bug that can happen. I think it can happen in some of the other games as well. If the boss is as far to the top right as they can sometimes try to move, but then they end up not moving at all, so it just looks like they're standing still. Also, hello Pigeon, and thanks for the raid. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's probably not optimal, but like, honestly, if you want to get a decent score fast, it works. Yeah, like, I don't know if it's necessarily even, like, efficient. Like, in terms of, you know, actually grinding out the scene, but I mean, if you're not looking for, like, a top-tier score, then, I don't know. I think it's not a bad idea. Like, I think it's very difficult to clear in this scene. Like, I haven't cleared many attempts, actually. Like, the last phase just gets so dumb. And really, the two photos before that, too. Yeah, well, Pigeon, with your photos, it would have actually been better if you were diagonally oriented toward Yeah, diagonal farm the boss because that would have allowed you to aim for longer. Because now it's like you basically can't aim or you lose the 2-shot. That is kind of the downside to speedrunning the photos from below. It doesn't really give you time, at least for the earlier photos. Like, you might actually just die if you try to aim. Also, if you're diagonally from the boss, you can also stay farther away. So, it gives you a little bit more time. Like, it really matters. Like, the front of these lasers has a really big hitbox. Like, I can probably demonstrate it right here. Like, it doesn't take that much time. See how early I died right there? Like, I think the laser right here would have barely touched Aya at this point, or not even at all, yet it still killed me. And so if you're timing the photo late, you're just dead. Like, that's just it. See, like, I'm already dead. It's like when the laser is barely overlapping with Aya herself, not even her hitbox, you're dead. But the sides of the lasers, those are actually a lot more lenient. Like, you can actually get pretty close to those, but if it's the front side, then it's like, nah. That is not allowed. Well, yeah, like on the later photos, you can definitely have more time to take the photo. That's why on the last photo, you didn't even get the nice shot because you timed it too early. And you probably panicked as well. Like, you went towards some kunai and you got extremely close to dying. Which, I don't think that was planned. Anyway, that was the first 4 categories. We're gonna come back to shoot the bullet for the 10th category in a moment. First, we're gonna go to DS. So we're gonna be booting that up. I should have the replays prepared. Okay, we should be good. Yeah, this is just the stream layout that I provided in the resources. This is just the same one of those layouts. This is actually the background from like that you're seeing right now, actually. Pretty sure. So yeah, now we're gonna go to the double spoiler Aya categories. First up, we have 2-5. That is actually, let me just go through. Go through the scenes, what they look like more or less. So first up, we have 2-5 with Aya. Then we have 8-7 with Aya. This one is satanic. And we have 11-6, the hula hoop scene. And then with Hatate, we have the bucket, one of the bucket scenes. And then we have 8-2, the beautiful scene with the beautiful white photos. Chef's kiss. Alright, so first up we have F frame with 5th place on 2-5. So yeah, he is not gonna be dashing up, he's just gonna take vertical shots here. If you go for vertical shots here, you're gonna get 1.0 angle bonus. You're not gonna get multipliers for this. Also, yeah, I don't think most people really figured this scene out. I tried to explain kind of how it works, because it's like, if you're straight below the boss, and the bullets take on a certain RNG at a certain time, bullets will basically create a straight path from which you can dash, but you kind of have to know exactly when that path is going to open up. Like, it's not super obvious, I think. So I think most people just kind of play it safe on this. But like, I can at least tell you that out of the early game scenes, this is definitely a very difficult one. This is actually one scene that I've now played in 3 different tournaments, I think. Or if I've at least I've grinded it 3 times. Like, I've actually done this during one of the dodging rain competitions. And then I think I grinded it on my own, and now I grinded it again for this. Except I actually put like only an hour's worth of effort onto it, because I just didn't feel like trying to beat my PB, because it was just so hard. And one thing that actually also makes the scene really annoying is that these bullets glow, and that makes things really hard to read. So it's not great. It's I don't really like it. Like, I still enjoy the scene, but the glow is yeah, it's not particularly fun. Yeah, now we get Picola's run. Looks like he will be going for verticals. Or, sorry, horizontals, the landscape photos. Okay, so he missed the 2-shot on that one, but in this game you're actually only losing 1.5 multiplier by doing this. So it's less punishing than in Shoot the Bullet. You're basically losing 1.5 times score instead of 1.8. So yeah, that does allow him to score a bit higher here. Like, when you're playing as Aya, okay, if you're playing as Aya and you have trouble with the scene, it could actually work out to actually go for vertical shots too, because you're basically losing out on 1.3 times multiplier. But it can ensure that you're getting a 2-shot. And that is 1.5 times multiplier. Plus, it might also let you get a higher boss shot, so... You know, if you play it really safe, verticals can work, but obviously it's not preferred. Let me see. Next up we have Moo. Moo. With 179k. So it looks like he will not be dashing up, but he is getting higher photos here. Or just a higher photo here. 58k. That one was well timed. Is he gonna mess up this last one? Oh yeah, he did. Timed it just a bit early. The nice shot timing, this nice shot here actually arrives faster after every photo because these bullets are being fired at a faster rate. And the nice shot always arrives around the time that the last ring is being fired. Yeah, so that was like probably a couple frames early. Unfortunate. Unfortunately, he could have had 200k if that wasn't the case. Which is what Pigeon did get. He got 210. Also, Moosecon heroes don't really know how to get past the bullets. I just tried to get a lucky shot. So yeah, next up we have Pigeon. Okay, yeah, he missed that nice shot. He dashed up a bit too early. Also, yeah, he's doing it not from his straight below the boss, which is not what you want to do. I don't know if it's necessarily riskier, but you're gonna lose angle bonus by doing it. You see, like, that was 1.26. It's a bit hard to explain how angle bonus works. Like, if I were to explain it off the cuff, I can't really do it justice, so I'm not even gonna try. But I mean, I can demonstrate it through, you know, just kind of playing a scene. You know, just to demonstrate how it works. But I mean, once you know how angle bonus works, you kind of know how to deal with it, so... Like, if you dash towards the boss, while you're also straight below the boss, that dashing up will actually not let you lose the angle bonus, so then it is totally fine. Also, Pigeon's comment here was tight squeeze. And at first place we got Acaride with 221k. Okay, looks like he's waiting. Okay, yeah, he's kind of like... He's kind of trying to stay higher and kind of dodging that way and then try to time the photo, but if it's too dangerous, he skips it. That's kind of what it's looking like right now. Yeah, that was good timing. Oh, but now what's gonna happen the last? I think something's gonna go wrong here. Oh yeah, he timed too early, and he lost the 2-shot. Oh, that sucked. Yeah, he was trying to play it safe, but it ended up costing him. Cost him a good run. He could have probably had like 260k or something. 270. I mean, I think you were still in front of the entire pattern. I think you could have moved towards the left and taken a photo then, because the nice shot is actually being revealed faster. But like, I don't know, like with your strategy, I wouldn't exactly know the nuance of executing the photo. Because this is not how I do it. Like, if you're doing it, and, you know, the way I was doing it, the final photo is really hard. Because you have to, like, know really fast when you can dash up. And even then, getting a good nice shot timing is really hard. It's like, you need to be able to react super fast, but I'm not really able to do that with these glow bullets. If these bullets were not glowing, it would have probably been different. I don't know, maybe you could have done a different strategy, maybe, but I couldn't really tell you. Because it's not... I mean, I guess you could have done a vertical, technically. But yeah. I still got first place, so... I think not by much. Yeah, 11k, it's still pretty decent. Okay, so next up we have 8-7. This scene, yeah, this scene is something else. I never figured this one out. This one is just really hard. This is the cat scene with the demon cat bonus. Also, before I forget, again, these are the results of 8-7. Alright, so first up we have Caballo. Yeah. So if you want like if the good RNG here would be for Orin to move as little horizontally as possible, because that bunches up the bullets a bit more. So he's just taking the photos from a distance and playing it safe. Actually, is he gonna die here? I think he's gonna die. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is he dead? Oh no, he's not. Okay, never mind. I was a little bit worried. I mean, it would probably be an appropriate scene to get a game over, because this scene is really hard. But yeah, he definitely played it safe. Especially towards the end. I mean, he played it safe overall, but he definitely didn't want to take any chances towards the end. Just take a tiny photo at the end. I'm actually surprised he's not actually getting the 2-shot here. Like, normally when you're in portrait mode, you can actually aim for quite a bit without losing the 2-shot. Like, I can't really tell where Aya is in that photo. So yeah, you do want to time these, like, you know, with the nice shot, but also, you know, to get the huge amount of bullets that are being spawned. He almost died there, by the way. Got 640 risk bonus from that. And the comment for this one... Oh my god, this took so much. But I never had it cleared before, and I was intrigued in doing it without looking at strategies. Alright, next up we have Moo with 294. I don't know, I think if you're a super player, you could probably, like if you're, like, I don't know, Sock or something, he could probably get some pretty huge photos in this. And, you know, play risky. Because it's like on the final photos, the patterns just get so dense that it's really hard to position yourself. Also, optimally, you would want to get as close to Orin as possible and then aim backwards. That allows you to still get a 2.0 boss shot. And also you would get 2,000 risk bonus, because you're basically getting the risk bonus from the big cloud of bullets. Yeah, it looks like Moot played it safe on that last photo too. Anyway, because these photos are being aimed, like there are zoom frames being used here, you do actually lose a lot of angle bonus for a lot of these. Not that one, because Orin moved in almost precisely the opposite direction compared to the angle of where Aya was compared to Orin. It's like if you are bad at timing these, you should probably not even use zoom frames. Or, you know, not aiming the photo. You will be losing a lot of angle bonus, because it's basically like the angle of the photo itself, the frame itself, will stay in place, but the boss will be moving, and the boss can move quite a lot. Like if Orin decides to move towards the sides of the screen, then she will be moving really fast, and that's gonna make you lose a lot of angle bonus. Well, 100k higher than your PB does seem pretty good, honestly. I mean, it's like 7 photos. That's like 12k on average. I don't think that's that bad. I mean, considering what the scene is, like, I don't know, to me that doesn't seem that terrible. Like, maybe your score is actually really good. Like, I do know that some of your photos did lose some angle bonus and risk bonus, I think, as well, but... I mean, it's the scene. Anyway, the comment on this run was... of Moose Run. The scene is hell, I'm fine with clearing it just once. Or twice. Alright, next up we have Pecola ZH. So he gets nice and close really early, so you can actually get an easy... nice shot with, you know, the boss being centered. There's another one, 62... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This dodging is scary. He's just surrounding himself with arrowheads. And somehow he lived. Okay, but he is allowing her to get close. Like, you basically want to be taking the photo as Orin is approaching you vertically. It layers on the shots more. Yeah, that was bad RNG. She went towards the side. But we're getting the nice shot timings. Oh, that was a uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Well, game over. I guess we're getting a game over here after all, but it's a much higher scoring one. He got quartered. Like, that was definitely supposed to not be a defensive, but because it wasn't, he was like, oh shit, and then he died. The dodging after that second photo, let's see that again. That's really, really scary. What? How did he even survive that? The demon spared him. Yeah, so, like, right here, Orin's gonna be too far away. Yeah, there was no way he was gonna live that. He had to move up straight away if he wanted to have a chance of surviving. But I guess he didn't consider what to do after failing a photo that was supposed to be a a photo of the boss. It definitely looked like it caught him by surprise. Anyway, his card here is last replay. Let's go. I think he actually submitted this one like almost as last minute as possible, because I actually missed this one because I was like trying to fill in the rest of the replays like a half hour before the time was up, and then that the replay still showed up. So yeah, I kind of missed that one. I think I got everything now though. Like if there's anything in the leaderboards that I missed or is wrong or something, then you can still tell me. I mean, we can always fix this stuff. Like there was one replay that was leading to the wrong place, but I did fix that because I needed to get all these replays ready and actually check that everything was correct. Like I think there were like 2 Acaride replays in the same leaderboard that was incorrect because he submitted for one of the scenes twice. I mean, he did it for more, but there was like one where I forgot to delete the old replay. Alright, next up we have Pigeon. We're at 384. I'm gonna assume that this one will clear. So it's just allowing Orin to get close and, not really optimizing the bullets, which is something I did as well, so, don't be ashamed of that. It's like this scene just really, like, these bullets are aimed at you, but that really doesn't really help that much. The scene is still really hard. It's I definitely underestimated the difficulty on this one. And I mean, it's quite possible that I personally was doing something wrong, but like I did approach this scene differently because I tried a whole bunch of stuff and it wasn't working out. I was like, you know what? Screw it. Ooh, that was nice and dangerous. That was pretty good. Okay, yeah, he played it safe there. Well, I don't know, maybe he was like second guessing, like, okay, should I take the photo on that wave or the next one? And he's like, oh shit, no, I'm gonna take it now, and then it was too late. I think that's what happened. Yeah. I can accept that. I know I did things differently, and I definitely took shortcuts with my photos. But I was kind of getting sick of not being able to clear this scene, so I just, yeah. I don't know. This was just one of those scenes that was just too hard for me. It was the same story with 11-6 with Aya and 7-6 of Shoot the Bullet. Those scenes were just too hard for me. I mean, with 11-6 I could probably get better if I actually understood what I was doing, but in 3 days' time that wasn't really enough. Like, it took a long time to even understand how to do photo 3 and 4. And by the time I kinda knew what I was doing there without, this photo being super optimized, I wasn't doing very well in the last 2 photos. But yeah, like, it's kind of a hard scene to get into, I think. I think that was one of those scenes where I would have preferred, well, I don't know. I was gonna say I would have preferred it the other scene one, but I might not want to say that so fast. Because I tasked the other scene, the DNA scene, and like it turns out you can actually score much higher on that scene, but if you want to do that, then you have to memo really hardcore. But I don't know, it might actually make things consistent if you actually memorize the whole thing. But it could also be quite the opposite. Like, I might actually be underestimating the difficulty. Anyway, the Pigeon's comment here is 2 weaknesses short of 400k. So yeah, I mean, the last photo especially. That one did cost him 400k, really. Just that one. But you know, it happens. And then we have first place. Acaride in the 400s. See, like he's using zoom frames here, so he can have more leniency with the timing. It does make it so he will do some angle bonus, but it does make timing more consistent, which is what I prefer to do too. You know, it gives you a larger frame window, since when you're activating the frame, the game actually slows down by like, I forget, it was like either 1/3 or 1/4 speed. Oh, okay, that was mistimed. Oops. But it looks like he is going to be clearing. He's probably going to be getting some good scores here. He might try to make up on the score from his 5th photo by waiting here. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Right in front. We got a 100th photo. Like, it was cut off, but it was still high, so... Very good. Very good, very good. Getting those 100s is not easy when you're trying to also dodge a bunch of shit. Like, I think my best on this scene is maybe like 110. It's not much higher, at least. This is just kind of a bullshit scene. But, well, that definitely can make it engaging for some. But I don't know, I feel like this one was a little overboard for me. Also, the way how I was playing this scene, it made it so that I really needed Ori to cooperate to basically land on the right place. And if she didn't, then I could just very well just die or mess up the photo big time. Like, I definitely wasn't playing it the right way. Alright, so 465. That was first place. So next up we're gonna have the... Oh yeah, first off we have 11-6. Before we get the Hatate scenes, we have 11-6. The hula hoops. And here are the results of these. Also, yeah, let me check real quick. What was my best here? Oh, it was 109. It wasn't even 110. So, yeah, that should tell you something about how hard this is. It's, like, I didn't spend too much time on this, but I was honestly kind of frustrated at this scene. I was just really struggling. Alright. 11-6 is a Suwako hula hoop scene. First up we have Caballo. Once again. Also, hopefully this does clear. I feel like some people don't even know that this is aimed. At least that was my impression from a few. Like, I think I did see some of this in a video he posted. Because he did do that for most scenes. Or maybe even all of them. Okay, he did clear. I mean, I guess this is not that hard to just clear, I guess. If you're just going for simple verticals. But yeah, this scene is like really complicated and you have to aim it in a certain way for each of the phases, pretty much. Or well, okay, it's like photo 1 is different, photo 2 is different, and then the rest of the photos all use a you have to aim the same way. Basically at a 60-degree angle. So that it's so you basically create a symmetrical pattern of sorts. Also, this will probably have a comment. Another new spell completed. This was easier than 8-7 for me. Yeah, the way he did that was definitely easier. I mean, I feel like this is the kind of scene that is more difficult on the technical aspect rather than the survival. Like 8-7, I feel like is more focused on the dodging than like understanding how the photo works. The photo itself. Alright, so F-frame with 553. Okay, so far he's just gonna go for just getting the rings and letting them move. Which is definitely the straightforward approach for this. And as you can see, it's not even scoring that bad compared to what Caballo was doing. Like, he does go close and does go for landscape photos. Yeah, so doing it that way, you can probably get a clear pretty fast. I feel like there's not really anything else I can add to this. I mean, this speaks for itself, really. This is easy to copy. He is actually misdirecting that last wave at a 60-degree angle, so he was able to get close easily. I don't know if he was doing that on the 5th photo. I wasn't really thinking about it. But yeah, the 60-degree angle thing, that is what you want to do. Like, that makes the approach the easiest. But when you also want to go for your nice shot timing, you actually have to make a dash upwards, and that timing is kind of difficult, and I honestly never really got good at it because I just simply didn't practice it enough, really. Like, if I really wanted to, I could have just fired up TH Frac to do it some more, but with TH Frac I was mostly just focusing on photo 3 and 4. Basically just learning the misdirects and getting behind the boss, because that's what you do on photo 3 and 4. I think it's impossible on the 5th and 6th. You just take front shots on those. Anyway, next we have Cola CH with about 20k higher of a score. So this is probably gonna be a similar run. Okay, does get a nice shot right there. Okay, that was probably supposed to be a nice shot, but it was time too early. That was probably supposed to be a photo, but it missed. Okay, he was definitely just playing that one just for the rings. Yeah. The only thing here is that he is making the photo frame sling around a lot, which is the byproduct of basically going into unfocused speed. It did actually work out right there on the last photo. He didn't really lose angle bonus. But you generally do lose some score by doing that. Like, you can kind of see when he's moving around on focus, you can see the angle of the frame is kind of spinning around, sort of. So then by the time you take the photo, the angle of that frame is gonna kind of be all over the place, potentially. So yeah, that was a 1.23. Alright, next up we have Moo with 619k. Okay, you aimed down there. I don't know if that was a mistake. Because that basically lost score. Because when you aim down like that, you lose angle bonus and boss shot multiplier. Okay, and then I guess right there trying to go for a 60-degree misdirect and then dashing up to take the photo. I don't know if you're maybe trying to do a variation of the first photo strategy that you do at a top level play, but probably not. Yeah, okay, that was a mistake. Alright. I don't know exactly how it happened, but, like, I don't know, maybe you're trying to move down to, like, dodge something, maybe? I don't know. Too high up and need to aim down a bit little. Well, if you're in focus speed and you're really close to the boss, then the frame is already going to be on top of the boss. So then you don't need to do any aiming. You don't need to correct or anything. It's like the only time that you're close to the boss and you need to correct is when you're really close to the boss, because then the frame will actually move past the boss and then you have to aim backwards. But I think on this scene you never do that. I don't think that is something you would ever do on this scene. At least not when you're like, you know, you have the frame on top of the boss and or you know, when you're really close to the boss and you're not resorting to like verticals or something. Anyway, the comment on this run was most fun out of these three DS scenes. Dodging unfocused. Then next up we have Pigeon with 753. Bit of a score jump here. Yeah, so he's taking a photo backwards or from behind Suwako, and the reason he's doing that is because the rings are not moving in that direction when you're like whenever as soon as the first ring starts to fire, the rest of the rings will aim in a predetermined manner. And so for these earlier photos, none of the rings will be moving upwards. So it's just a safe way to get a nice shot on the first few photos. Of course there's more nuance to it, but you know, generally this is a safe way to do it. Of course on these photos you can't do that anymore because the rings will be moving upwards as well, as you can see. And I also got a pretty high last photo here. That is also probably, relatively speaking, the safest way to take the last photo. Just take it from the side. Because the first ring that is the first ring that is being fired is gonna go 60 degrees towards the right of where you are. And then the next ring is directly aimed at you, and then the next one 60 degrees to the left, etc, etc. Okay, yeah, that one did mess up because he wasn't in focus speed and probably panicked a bit as well. I don't know if he was maybe trying to get behind the boss, but I don't know if that would have worked. I don't know, he might have died, maybe. Anyway, that last photo did work out for him. I think that's so far the highest photo on these last, on the last. Comment on this one. Potential temporary placeholder. I think this was one of the earlier ones. Yeah, this was still from January. I think this was the 4th day of Shoot the Spoiler, so yeah. And then our winner, again, is Acaride with 870k. Okay, yeah, so he's doing this the optimal strat on the first photo. Although, you know, a bit differently, but it is a variation of the best strategy. Getting the nice shot on that one. Okay, now he's just gonna go for just getting the rings, it looks like. Just playing safe on the rest of these. And yeah, he is trying to go for a 60-degree angle on these. Although I think that was a bit too much of an angle. I mean, it is really hard to get just the right angle, so it's like... It's not surprising at all that it goes wrong a lot of the time. Like, even I couldn't do it. It's like, you have to be really consistent at it. And like, if you want to take the right photos, you have to misdirect the bullets exactly the correct way multiple times in a row. Otherwise, if you try to take the photo the optimal way, the rings will get in the way and you will die. And I know that on the final few photos, or well, I think on photo 3 to 6, it also matters how high Suwako is placed when she's shooting the bullets. Because I think with photo 3 and 4, if you try to take those photos from behind, if Suwako is too low when she's firing the previous bullets, I think, then the ring that is moving upwards will reach you sooner, and then you will probably die. But yeah, he compromised that last photo. He might have maybe been able to get close to 1 million, if not for that. And you know, also on the 5th photo, he could have gotten closer. So yeah, he could have gotten 1 million. And yeah, you can't just take that photo the same way. Although, you know, the result of your score is going to vary a little bit depending on where Suwako's gonna move. Okay, yeah, but he didn't hug the wall here, but I think this is still more or less the correct angle. Like, let me just see real quick. Okay, yeah, that white ring I think is a bit too low. But I mean, it's still, you know, you're still seeing that he's getting most of the majority of the rings, as you can see. Like, this is the maximum amount of rings you can include in photo 1. And the highest that you can get, I think, was like 200 and... like 220 maybe? I forget exactly how high, but my best is something like 215, I think. But yeah, that is it for the Aya scenes. So next up we have 2-5. Or sorry, not 2-5, 3-3. 2-5 was the first Aya one. So first we need to fix the character bug. Also, was there a comment on the first place? 11-6? No. Okay, so we got F-Frame with 102. Okay, looks like he's gonna go for side shots to get the newly spawning kunais. Although he's taking these ones late and at an angle, so he's missing a lot of the kunais there. But it's still quick and easy. Let's say, like right there, he did that correctly. Yeah, so that one is pretty self-explanatory. Not really anything I could add to that one. It is definitely a lot safer than trying to go for a nice shot, because if you want to go for a nice shot, you kind of have to take risks. You do kind of need to put yourself in a position that you're close to dying. Although I think there are ways to like get the nice shot without any bullets to like weave past. With the way I was doing it, like the strat that I did, there is actually a bit of a hole that is created when you're about to take the photo, but it's still like you still need a lot of luck. Like it's definitely not foolproof with the RNG. Okay, so he's gonna go for vertical shots while still getting the nice shot, without allowing the kunais to really get super close. Well, except on that first one, but I mean, it's the first photo, so you can afford to do it there. But he is getting the right idea. He's kind of following the boss as Kisame is moving up. With the old world record strategy, you would actually dash up with Kisame from below as early as possible, so without actually ramming the bucket. Which I would say is actually a lot more straightforward than what I ended up doing in the end. I think the first place score will actually be using the new strat because because of the comments on it. I think there's no comment on this run. No, don't actually no. This one does have a comment. Just a quick one on last day. So this was a it was done on the last day of the tournaments. And then we have Cola CH. This is also gonna be... okay. he definitely meant that to be a boss photo, but he missed. This is actually kind of funny. Like, he's... you know, he's not taking the risk of ramming her. Okay, he kind of was doing it there, but took the photo too early. But yeah, he's just kind of trying to just barely get the boss in a photo without, like, risk dying. So yeah, that is also a really safe way to do that. Of course, yeah, when you do it this way, you're gonna miss the boss a whole bunch. But it is safe. Although he could have actually macroed the kunais after taking the photo, which he didn't do at the first few waves. He did it right there, but that was probably also because the boss was to the side, so it was more obvious to him to be macroing the kunais there. Okay, then next up we have a huge score jump. Now we're going from the 100s to the 300s. So first of the 300s we have Pigeon. Just taking the first possible wave right there, and now he's gonna be waiting. Probably for good RNG as well. Yeah, so he's kind of doing the new strat here. Basically what you want to do is move up to basically misdirect the kunais to be more packed together. And then take the photo dashing up with her. But I think what Pigeon was also doing, I don't know if he's going to be doing it this run, but he used to move up with the boss while staying to the side of him, and that actually inspired me to, well, ultimately find this new strategy. I just did it a riskier way, basically. Yeah, these big bullets are getting kind of in the way. He could have probably taken some defensives here, actually. Yeah, actually, this is kind of what you want to do on this scene. He just played it, you know, more safely. So he is not getting a 2.0 boss shot and also not dashing up as early as possible without dying. When you're doing the dash later, then you're gonna lose some boss shot, but it does ensure that he was gonna survive. He probably also he also took the photo a bit early, I think, given the situation, so that also made it a little bit safer. And then with Acaride here, we're probably gonna see a similar result. So he actually got the macro bonus there, so that gave him a little bit of extra score. Yeah, and that here he's also doing a diagonal dash while staying higher up than Kisame herself. But still, you know, still kind of doing it in a relatively safe way to not risk dying as much. It's very easy to ram. It's very easy to ram the bucket here. Like, even if you're doing the old strat, basically. It's very easy to ram the bucket lolly. Also, I don't think it really mattered here that the photo's a bit angled. Like, actually with a Hatate's case, it's actually not, you're not actually gonna be losing much angle bonus, because with Hatate, even if you are unfocused, the frame will always be pointed towards the boss. So with Hatate, it's actually a lot easier to retain a high angle bonus if you're going for horizontals. And yeah, like, back when I played the scene in 2017, this was the first scene, by the way, that I ever scored seriously. Which makes this, you know, somewhat nostalgic for me. Back when I played this scene, a lot of the time when I made the dash upwards, it would literally just be, I ram at Kisame, I die, and it looks like I'm an idiot. Even though that is literally what would happen if you dash up too early, you know? But you want to dash up as early as possible without ramming her. But you know, if you with the new strat now, it's like you can actually take a later knife shot timing and actually stay closer to the boss because you're actually already positioning yourself higher up on the screen. Because Kisame will actually be floating upwards faster than you can move unfocused. So with the normal strat, you could not time your photo too late or you would be losing boss shot multiplier. Also, one thing of note is that the new strat does not work with Aya. I tried and the photos would just not score higher. So with Aya, you're still gonna be doing the old strat. Also, I think I should kind of maybe revisit that scene because when I compare this scene with the amount of effort I put into the Aya scene, you see I only have 462 photos. So I must have like not spent much time on this at all. But yeah, you can see here that the bullets are a lot more spread out than with this one. You can even see some bullets that are moving upwards. Like that is how high you want to get and then, you know, actually make the dash up. But yeah, this was definitely a fun scene for me to play. Even though it was, like, I did have a lot of trouble doing the dash. I was often just dashing too early. And that can be kind of frustrating, but... Well, I ended up getting a great score out of it in the end. And the world record is now a lot higher, thanks to what Pigeon was kind of doing. Like, Pigeon was kind of doing a strat where you were still moving up with the boss, but he was staying to the side. And I noticed that put the bullets closer together, or, you know, in a way that made it, you know, more packed together, and was like, you know, maybe I can do something with that, and then this new strat was born. Like, the main difference is basically that, you know, you're staying straight below the boss instead of, you know, being to the side of her like Pigeon was doing. Alright, the last of the double spoiler scenes. 8-2 with Hatate. This is the sun scene. Or, well, one of the sun scenes, but this is the one that was in the tournaments. I think these are all gonna be vertical shots because this boss does not let you get very close. But if you're gonna go for horizontals, you actually want to be losing the 2-shot. This is one of few scenes in the game where you want to be losing the 2-shot, because if you go for verticals, you lose 1.7 multiplier. Whereas if you were to lose the 2-shot, you only lose 1.5 multiplier from the 2-shot. And that is why, optimally, it is never better to take verticals. But, you know, if you want to play it safe, this is probably still the better thing to do. Also, I realized, yeah, the wrong character is showing. Oopsies. It doesn't actually affect the replay, by the way. So, you know, it's just a visual glitch. Also, it did seem like he didn't really know how to dodge the suns, like the first few suns, like how it was aimed, but these suns are static. It's like every wave, the pattern aims a bit to the right. Like it kind of aims in a more, I don't know how I would say it, but in any case, every wave, the suns aim a bit more to the right. Or I don't know, I guess you could technically say more to the left as well. In any case, there's no like truly static save spots. You always have to memorize new save spots for every wave. Okay, so he's gonna try to squeeze himself in between the suns and then quickly take a photo. Presumably not considering the nice shot timing. I think the nice shot window on this scene is actually very short. I don't know if that's actually true, but it felt like you had a shorter nice shot timing window. Like that a 1.5 would be harder to take. But yeah, this is a similar looking run, just with, you know, Hatate being a little bit closer, maybe. Yeah, these are getting slightly higher boss shots. Alright. Also, were there any comments on... Cavallo probably had a comment on the A2 one. Okay, yeah, Cavallo's comment was... Okay, I think those are all the stages I hadn't already beat. What a gauntlet. And then, for Piccola, it's vertical scoring. But I think both Pigeon and Acaride are gonna be doing the same thing. I know Pigeon at least was. But yeah, you're still gonna see a huge score jump, so let's see what makes him score so much higher. Okay, so he's looking for a safe spot here, and then he's aiming the photo while you know, trying to maximize the boss shot here. So yeah, this is a scene where you need to memorize save spots, and if you want to be truly optimal, honestly, it becomes pretty precise. Like you can see, he's also moving backwards a little bit to make sure that he's not dying. Okay, don't know if him skipping those two might actually be planned, because he knew where it needed to go on that last photo. I mean, being almost straight in front of the boss is definitely simpler. But on these later photos, it actually becomes really dangerous to get close really fast, because there's a lot more blue leftover bullets to worry about. Like every photo, there's more of those bullets that you have to worry about. See, there you go. He didn't aim on that last one, so he got a little bit less score there. But other than that, you know, his photos are pretty consistent. On the later photos, the suns do actually spawn at a faster rate, like they get progressively faster. And on the 4th and 5th photo, it is actually possible to get an extra wave in. I imagine that this scene, or this score right here, will go for the same kind of strategy. Also, Pigeon's comment here was decent with a 1.0 angle shot, aka verticals. Oh, wait, he's switching to horizontal. Okay. Ah, yeah, see, he's aiming very much there. So he is aiming so much to the point that he's losing the 2-shot. But as you can see, he's getting some pretty big photos here. You can also see that he's aiming both diagonally and upwards. So he does actually know to aim not just in solely one direction. But yeah, you did see he kind of panicked there a little bit. Like, I could see it a little bit in the aiming. The only thing here is that he let go of focus speed, so that actually made his frame be further away from the boss. You can actually get 2.0 boss shot on these, but on the last two photos, it's actually optimal to not get a 2.0 boss shot, which just kind of has to do with the sun hitboxes. Like on the fourth photo, you want to get like a boss shot of around 1.85 to 1.88, I think. And then on the last photo, you need to get a 1.97 or a 1.96 to 1.98. Like, your boss shot has to be super specific. It's insane. If you want to go for a super good last photo, it's angle perfect, it's position perfect, and then it's frame perfect for both activating the frame and letting go. And even then, the game might just not give you the suns that you want in your photo. Like, the perfect photo, I've only been able to get twice. And none of which were PB runs, unfortunately, so my PB actually missed the sun. Okay, so I think, yeah, that is all of the double spoiler ones. So now we're gonna be returning to shoot the bullet for one last scene, since the fan favorite scene was a shoot the bullet one. So this was one of the scenes that was played in one of the other shoot the spoilers. And I'm actually surprised that this scene won and not the King Kakuji one. King Kakuji actually lost by 2 votes. Although it was technically won because one of the votes was actually a tiebreaker vote that I had. And I basically let RNG decide what I voted for. Like, I basically did not give myself a chance to put any bias towards my votes. What about my scores? I did participate in the sense that I played along, but I did not actually include myself in the leaderboards. I wanted this. I did not want this to be, something about me. I wanted, new people to compete with each other. I did not want to really take part in that. I did play along because, that was a good time for me to... Or, it is a good opportunity for me to play 10 scenes in a month. I would normally never do that. And, as such, I was still able to enjoy the tournament in that way. I just simply did not include myself in the leaderboards. But I will be submitting my... I will be submitting my replays to Yumiya's replay stream and to Toho Replay Showcase. But for Toho Replay Showcase, it will not be in the STS block. It will just be 2 separate submissions that are outside of that block. Yeah, like, in any case, I purposely did not include myself. I thought it was a little bit disingenuous, and if I did include myself, I would be first place in everything. and that just didn't sit right with me. Like, I don't know how I was feeling about it in the previous 2 STSs, but I definitely came to the realization that it was probably just for the best if I did not include myself. Also, as for Anna, the replay, the PBs that I did get, I did highlight those on my Twitch. And, you know, if you don't want to watch those, there's always the replay streams that you can watch them back. Alright, so for the last scene, we got 6 submissions to still go through. So first up, we have Caballo. And yeah, this scene is really hard. Basically, Remilia is gonna spawn these bats. They spawn in... they are RNG aimed. They will basically be placed within a certain radius around you. The bats are worth more base value than the knives. So you kind of want to get as many of these bats as possible in your photo. And it looks like he's just gonna be trying to take these photos as soon as possible and just not giving these guys any chance to corner him. Which is not that surprising for the lower tiered scores here. But yeah, this is also one of those scenes where I rarely cleared. Like, this scene was just really hard. And I mean, I'm glad that I was at least able to improve my old score from the previous Shoot the Spoiler when this scene was picked. Like, this scene is still fun, but it's... oh my god, it's just so ridiculous. Yeah, so this is basically a revisiting of the scene, basically. It's a repeat. And out of the people who voted, this scene got voted the most. People could basically vote 3 scenes out of 20. And this one, yeah, like I said, this one was voted the most. Also, the comments here. Another safe run of a spell I never did before. Yeah. You don't want to be messing with this scene if you want to score this. It gets pretty insane. And this is also one of those scenes where the potential is really high. Like, a lot higher than you could reasonably get. Which you can't really say that for a lot of scenes, I feel like, in Shoot the Bullet. And this is also one of those scenes that is just so RNG heavy. Oh yeah, by the way, it's worth noting that these bats do not have a hitbox. You can stay on top of them, but you don't want to be standing on top of them for too long, otherwise they will spawn a knife on top of you. This is not one of those scenes where a spawning where bat, like if a bat tries to spawn something else on top of you, that the bullets just don't spawn at all. That is not a thing here. You will just get spawn killed if you stay on top of the bats. Anyway, these bats stay on screen for exactly 11.98 seconds, or 12 seconds, we can just say. And Remilia moves every 2 seconds. So optimally, if you want to maximize the number of bats in your photo, you want to let Remilia move 6 times before taking the photo. And then obviously you also want to, bunch them up as much as you can. But, as you're doing that, There's a lot of movement RNG you need to worry about. So, like, if Remilia doesn't move into a spot where a lot of bats are, then you either have to get a low boss shot to maximize the number of bats in your photo, or you still try to take a centered shot, but you get less bats in the photo, which that in itself, I think that generally scores less. And it also means that there's more bats to worry about after you've taken your photo. Like, it's the nicest, like, what I do, basically, is I try to take a photo of Remilia, and then take a defensive immediately to basically remove some stray bats. And whatever stray bats I didn't get, I give them a chance to despawn, basically, since they are on that 12-second timer. Also, yeah, it's 719 frames. I mean, that's how it works, so... okay, this did have a comment, I think. Not my best. Maybe I get to score it again sometime. This is definitely one of those scenes you could definitely come back to. Like, it is hard as hell, but like, there's definitely a lot of ways that you can approach this scene, so you could definitely try again. Alright, next up we have F-Frame with 523. See what he's gonna do. Okay, so he is letting some bats spawn. It does get a little bit scary. But yeah, he is getting most of the bats here that he's spawning. But he is doing the kind of run where he's bunching up the bats as much as he can, but then also taking the photo as soon as possible to, you know, remove the risk of dying. Okay, it does get a little bit scary here, though. Okay. 115. Okay, he's waiting a bit. He didn't get a lot of bats on that last photo, so that one did not score as high. I don't know how much the bats score more compared to the knives, but quite a lot more. Like, you really want to prioritize on the bats than the knives. Of course, the knives become more impactful on the later photos, especially photo 6 and 7. But at that point, the scene becomes so hard that you're not even gonna be scoring any higher. When I did a task of this, the last two photos scored a lot higher than the rest. And the last photo scored a lot higher than the 6th, so... It's like, this scene has just so much potential, but it's just so difficult to get that potential out. You can't really compete with that. It's also like the knives go faster on the later photos. And I think the spawn rate is also higher, I think. So it just gets harder on like 2 different ways. It's just, yeah. It's just too crazy of a scene. Next up we have Piccola at CH with 600. Okay, here comes a photo probably. Okay, so he took a low bot shot there, but he did actually get more bats in the photo, so I think that actually did score him a little more. Yeah, looks like he's just going in circles and just taking the photo relatively soon after that. Playing it pretty safe while still, you know, trying to maximize the number of bats in the photo a little bit. See, like, he aimed that one past the boss, but he actually got more bats in the photo, so I think that also gave him a bit more score. than if you have the photo centered. So like that right there is a nice number of bats. He got a nice number there, and they were also like placed in a how should I say, like it was kind of like in a landscape photo shapes, so he actually got more bats in the photo that way, because you know the photo has more width than height. Like in Shoot the Bullet, you only have one straight angle, so that generally gives the photos less depth, but this is one of those scenes where that's not really the case. This photo is pretty deep. Like maybe when we get to the first place score, we'll see a pretty different strategy. Like Pigeon has 750 here, and then this next one has well over 1 million. Anyway, Pigeon we got first. So I already see the highest photo so far, 135. He's letting a lot more bats spawn. But there's also a lot of bats that are still at the bottom firing their knives. Okay, yeah, that was a good one. He got a bunch of bats there. You sometimes kind of need Vermilion to move nicely into the bunches of bats. Like right now, you want her to move upwards. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. You kind of need to get lucky with where Vermilion is gonna move. Like sometimes he's just not gonna cooperate. Alright, this last photo is probably gonna be like a 90k-ish. So it's probably gonna be playing a saver. Yeah. Like it gets really dangerous if you let the bats fire for a while in the last photo, especially. Yeah, well, at least in this scene, it is pointless to wait for longer than 12 seconds, because by that point, the bats will start to despawn, and then the score potential doesn't go up anymore. Or, well, okay, technically, it still kind of does, because there's the knives that are still, you know, flying across the screen, you know, from the bats that have despawned, but then we're talking about such a small difference in score that it really... that is not really meaningful. Like optimally, what you would actually do is put bats in the bottom corners, then start to bunch them up in the middle of the screen, more or less, so that the bats that despawn first in the bottom left or right, that their knives then get included in the photo where you have the bunches of bats that are still not, you know, still firing bullets. It's just one of those optimization things that isn't really worth it. Also, the comment on the scene: 5 and 6 could be better, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I could have probably waited a bit on that last one, because I did see that Vermilion was moving upwards, which is where the bats were, so you could have maybe gotten 800. But you know, it's really scary if you already made it this far, so you probably just didn't want to take a chance. Alright, so here is the last replay. Here we go. It's gonna sit on her head. Vermillion actually has a pretty small physical hitbox. That is really scary, but wow, okay. 200. Okay, yeah, so he's going more in a circle, actually. I think this is actually what KK did, actually. This is like strategy, I think more or less a strategy that KK did back in like 2006. Or was it like 2000? I forget what year it was. It was very early on in this game's scoring life cycle, so to speak. You can see he's waiting a lot longer. He's actually getting really lucky because he's kind of inside of the bunches of bats and they're not killing him. Oh my god. Okay, but this last one is probably gonna be compromised a bit. Okay, well, not as much. But he played very risky there for a bit. It was very scary, but he got that run, so congrats. I would not have tried to do that. I would have probably died, so you got really lucky. You can see, like, he's definitely waiting long enough to the point that he's actually getting a lot of bats. And you can just see how much of a difference it makes. And like in practice, the highest photos are actually going to be your first ones. Even though the theoretical score potential only goes up from here. Which should tell you something about how difficult the scene is when you're trying to optimize the later photos. You just can't do it. It's just too hard to max it out. I mean, I guess technically you could like just YOLO in and just hope for a 1 in 1,000 chance to survive something, but like, who's gonna do that? Like, even in a game like this where the category in question is like 2 minutes and not, you know, not a game that lasts like 20 to 30 minutes, even then people are not doing this. But yeah, you can see Vermillion is centered, lots of bats, and, you know, a good amount of knives. So that allowed him to get a 200k in there. And actually, my PB right now has no 200s in it. Which is kind of crazy. Like, if we were to show my replay, this would look a bit different, but... And I actually did a saver strat on the last few photos, which actually compromised the score, so... But yeah, that is all of the replays that people have submitted. As far as I know, everybody who played has at least submitted in 1.6. So that would be Caballo, Lofi, Amlux, Ephraim, Pecola, Moo, Pigeon, Acaride, and Fallen Wisp. Fallen Wisp being the player who has prior experience with scoring Shoot the Bullet. Like he played some scenes even before Shoot the Spoiler, so it's not really surprising that he won one of these. And this PB actually got a big mistake, which could have actually been 160k. So, you know, he definitely has experience. But most other people here are pretty new. Caballo was, at least in the last Shoot the Spoiler, Amlux participated in both of the 2 Shoot the Spoilers that already happened. Pigeon participated in Shoot Spoiler 2. And then Acaride, Moo, Pecola, Ephraim, and Lofi are all newcomers. So that's 5 out of 9 people who've been introduced to scoring in one form or another with this tournament, which I'm pretty happy about. Like, with this kind of tournament, I definitely want to see more, you know, more people basically just trying it out, and, you know, if people like it, they might, you know, actually stick with it. which is exactly what happened when Amlux and Pigeon participated. They are scoring some scenes on and off, you know, just in their own time, which is definitely cool to see. So I definitely, you know, that's kind. I think that it's kind of one of the goals, definitely, of this. You know, beyond just having fun, like photo games are definitely a lot easier to get into. You know, even if you know there's some mechanical stuff that you have to get used to, but a lot of the things you kind of get used to as you go, and it becomes a lot easier to learn new scenes. And when you're learning a new scene, it's basically just, you know, a single spell that you're learning, so it's not a lot of time that you have to put into it. So that does make these games a lot more approachable in the sense of, you know, how long you have to spend learning it. You're not playing a full game. And yeah, we got a total of 69 submissions. That does include submissions that were later improved by the same player, like Acaride, for example, and Pigeon, I think. They both had quite a few submissions that they ended up improving later. And yeah, this is mostly just done so that, you know, there's some active competition going on. You know, we don't want people submitting at the last moment. Obviously, it's not really, you know, an absolute rule, but it's just something, you know, if you want to be a good sport about it, you should just submit as soon as you get something. That does make things more transparent and fun. Well, looks like I was able to get all of these replays up and shown before the replay showcase starts, because that was kind of why I was doing the stream early. Because I'm assuming quite a few people here do want to move over to that when that starts. So I don't know if anybody had any questions still. I might have skimmed over maybe some comments in the chat here. Like, I've mostly been paying attention to the gameplay and the run comments in the leaderboards. And yeah, that is also the thing with photo games. When you're playing and you're just like, ah, dang it, I lost this run, then it's like you want to try again right away, and you could literally get a PB like 1 or 2 minutes later. It's one of those things where it's almost within arm's reach, but barely not, and it's not like, you know, it's not like, I don't know, EOSD where you have to go through the early game and it's like, you know, that in itself is like 15 minutes or something, and then you have to get to the end or something, you know. It's a lot more tedious. And also, you know, the time commitment is also a thing. Like, whenever I play Pod, you know, we're talking about like runs that are like between 25 and 50 minutes, depending on the category. And then it's like, well, do I really want to spend that time and, you know, put in that energy? And usually with a game like that, I just stop a lot sooner. But it's like with that game, I play for about 1.5 to 2.5 hours. But with these photo games, I can usually play between like 2 hours and 5, which is probably as much as time as I'm gonna spend on anything, really. Like, these days I can't really put in that much energy, but, you know, with something like this where you're just doing something where you can PB very shortly in any given attempt, and, you know, you don't really need to do a lot of new things, or, you know, things that you're worried about or, you know, getting nervous about. That's also one of those things. You don't have a lot of time to be nervous. If you're on pace for a good run, it's a matter of seconds before your run ends, either because, you know, you finished the run or you died or something, or you messed up the run. There's a lot less time to be nervous, so, you know, from that perspective, these games are also more player-friendly. I don't know, I feel like those are some good qualities to let people think like, hey, maybe I should, you know, try this out. I know there were some people who wanted to join this but didn't or couldn't. Like, I know Lorenzo wanted to join. Like, he wanted to join the previous one too, but he might have been too busy with UFO again. And then I also know that TSG wanted to join, but he also didn't end up playing. And Gebu was too busy with Super Metroid 100% speedruns. So he was also sitting this one out. So I mean, given the amount of people who ended up not playing, there were actually still quite a few people who ended up participating, so... I mean, it could have definitely been a lot worse. ISC no underflow. You mean like with like the photo thing, because you could like slow down the timer? That is not a thing in this game. That doesn't happen. I mean, you know, of course, never say never, I guess, but like with everything that we know and everything that I've learned through tasking, I don't see how that would be possible. Yeah, there's no ISC version of STS. I don't know, like, I would personally not want to organize something like that. Like, not at least for Shoot the Spoiler specifically, because it's supposed to be a photo game tournament sort of thing. And, like, I don't know, I think ISC should just be its own thing. And also, we will definitely not include VD. I think if we do that, then nobody's gonna care. So, yeah, that's just not happening. Well, so far it has been yearly, but there has been 1.5 years, 1.5 year gap between this one and the second one. And really the only reason why this one took place a bit later is because I was under the impression that Tian was still going to organize these, but that was not true. But I didn't really know that, so like I ended up finding out after talking about it. But yeah, like I will definitely be organizing another one, but I can't really promise when I will do it. I mean, it kind of also depends on my own personal circumstances. Like, I do need time to put this together, but like in terms of actually preparing it, like I can do that well in advance. Like, for example, the cover design and stream layouts, I had those ready in March of last year, so like I really wanted to see another one. And I was like, well, I don't really have much to do, let me just make these already. But yeah, like, I'm not gonna say like when the next one is gonna be, I'm just gonna let it go now and just, you know, we'll see. But, you know, if people still want to see another one, you know, that definitely gives me motivation to organize another one. But I mean, there will definitely be a year gap in there. You know, we do want to, you know, let this kind of, I don't know, let this pass by, so to speak, and you know, just give people time to not play this game, and you know, basically reignite some interest when the time comes. I think that is it. I don't think there's anything else I need to say, so yeah, I guess one more thing. Yeah, I did say that Gastari gave us the opportunity to have like a dedicated SDS stream in case enough people submitted for Toe Replay Showcase. I don't know if that's necessarily gonna happen. Like, if people want to submit, they can submit, but you know, not everybody is going to want to do it or just don't think to do it. But you know, that is everybody's choice. But in any case, if anybody still wants to submit for SDS, the SDS scenes to the replay showcase, you guys probably have 2 to 3 weeks to do it. I did tell Kastari that I want there to be I want to wait a few weeks for that, because I know that at least Pigeon had a submission for something else for the Toe Replay Showcase. I just wanted, I don't want Pigeon to have to replace his submission for that or something, so that's why there will be a few weeks in between until that gets shown all at once. And I mean, that is really just meant so that, more people can see these replays, I know at least that Gassari really enjoys watching photo game replays, so he's definitely looking forward to some of those. And well, you can also submit them to Yumi. Yeah, that's what I did for 5 of the scenes already, but that is not gonna be its own SDS block. It's just gonna be for the Toe Replay Showcase. Yeah, no problem. I did enjoy it, and I do see that some of the newer players had fun playing, and I try to help people wherever I can. Yeah, like it will be its own special showcase, but only if enough people submit. Basically, like it really just depends on how much time it's going to take in. Basically, like if it's just an hour or something, then it will probably not be its own stream. But yeah, we'll just have to see. It doesn't really matter either way. Like last time, there was no dedicated SDS stream because not enough people submitted their replays to the replay showcase, which doesn't really matter. But at least some people did, so they still got to see a sufficient amount of replays. I'm not gonna complain about that. Anyway, and yeah, that's I think that's about it. To those who joined in, I see that there's actually quite a lot of people who joined in. Thanks for watching, and we can perhaps hope for another Shoot the Spoiler sometime in the future. And if anybody has been interested in joining, while just watching from the sidelines, there will probably be another one, so just be on the lookout for that. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.